So we're going to talk about Microsoft, or sometimes people call it Bing shopping campaigns, basically running shopping ads on Bing.com through the Microsoft advertising platform, and why there's a big difference between the so-called smart shopping version of the shopping campaigns you could run on Microsoft's platform versus the regular shopping, or just shopping campaigns as they're called, with no smart word tied to the word shopping campaign. So there's regular shopping campaigns and there's smart shopping campaigns. The smart shopping campaigns, in short here, no longer work unless you're basically a huge company. Huge company probably doing at least $50 million a year in sales, which obviously that's going to be 1% of you guys watching. So, virtually speaking, I can be very bold in that statement that smart shopping no longer works. Okay, I'm going to explain why it no longer works if you're curious about that. I mean, obviously it doesn't matter that much, but if you're going to be good at PPC, as I talk about on my channel all the time, you got to understand why things occur as well, because never does anything stay the same at PPC. It slowly changes over time. You got to be able to make decisions on the fly. And if you wait until shit hits the fan before you learn this stuff, you're going to make bad decisions. So I'll tell you about why this is, and then what's the basic best alternative. Of course, run shopping campaigns, yes. But what's the best way today, going into 2024, to run an actual shopping campaign on Bing? And I'll tell you a little bit how Bing shopping campaigns compare to Google shopping campaigns, if you were wondering, in case you haven't done Bing shopping campaigns, because I know a lot of you guys are wondering, well, I do Google, does Bing shopping work as well, or does it work as good? I'll talk about that as well. So with that said, and there are some situations where you can actually use smart shopping Bing campaigns, or smart shopping on Bing, and it will outperform regular shopping. There's a certain minimum threshold you got to be at as a company before that's actually going to be the case. So regular shopping works great until a certain point, then it switches to smart shopping, and I'm going to tell you what that point is as well. So getting into the content, while Google, on Google, if you're running ads there, or if you plan to or whatnot, regular shopping campaigns have not been the way to make the most money with shopping placements on Google for at least 3 years now. Google doesn't have smart shopping campaigns anymore. They used to till about August of 2022, and then they made you do PMax campaigns to effectively run the same thing. And PMax pretty much is the same thing. If you know how to set it up the no-feed way that I talk about on this channel, and if you want to know about that, you can watch my video about no-feed PMax campaigns. Sorry, searching on my channel homepage for that. So, and the amount of money you're going to make using PMax over regular shopping on Google is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 times as much. So you don't want to use regular shopping. Some people think because if PMax doesn't work, smart or regular shopping is worth taking a stab at, and that generally never works either. Okay, so it's 99% of the time regular shopping isn't going to be the better bet on Google, just to lay it out there flat. Okay, so with that said though, on Bing, it's not the case. Now it was the case for a while that similarly on Bing, if you're trying to run shopping ads, you know, basically, just to clarify, the picture ads that are on Bing.com with the price underneath it that you normally see, we're talking about the same thing here. It was the case for a long time, for years as well, that along with Google, or similar to Google, that the smart shopping version of the running shopping campaigns on Bing would outdo the regular shopping campaigns. But recently, we're talking about late 2023, the Bing smart shopping campaigns need to have so much data behind them, i.e. enough sales data behind them, to just run properly and outdo regular shopping campaigns, that you're better off running regular shopping, like I was was mentioning starting out this video. And furthermore, it's even worse than that. Not only will it perform worse, it will produce a million times better results, because any sales are better than zero. What you're going to basically have with your smart shopping is it'll kind of go up. You might be thinking you're on the right track, assuming this line here is clicks. And if you want to say sales with it, let's say this is your sales line. And then all of a sudden, it'll be like, like if we're talking about a heart monitor here. And then you won't get any more clicks after that. Why? Because smart shopping, the whole idea behind smart shopping is supposed to be that Google's AI and algorithm is supposed to take a look at the sales you're getting and the features of the people that have bought from you through that campaign. What's the similarities between them, so they understand how to have your ad show up for the real customers that buy in the future. You know, that if somebody buys, they look at, there's 1,000 traits that they know about them, how old they are, what sites they've visited before, on and on and on, through data that they have and data that they buy from third parties. So, if you don't have enough sales, and you're not getting very many sales, Bing will just flatline you if you're running the smart shopping. Because on smart shopping, there's no way for manual bidding. It's just maximize conversions or maximize conversion value. And so what it's looking for is conversions. And it needs conversion data to run. And if you're not getting a certain amount of conversion data through that campaign, it'll just not run at all. Which I think is really dumb, because it used to be you could just take off the target ROAS setting on your Bing smart shopping campaigns, and then it would still run. I mean, it would slow down like this, but it would still run if you took that off. Now, even if you take that off and say, I don't care if you get me a ROAS or an ROI at all, it'll still do this. So you're forced, if you want to still run shopping campaigns in that case, to only run regular shopping, because the smart shopping isn't going to work even if you wanted to, and no matter what you do with it. Okay? So if this has happened to you, just start up a regular shopping campaign and you'll start getting clicks, and it won't do this to you, because you could actually set it up to, specifically with the enhanced CPC is what I would recommend, and set the CPC bid for that campaign, a similar CPC that you were paying for your smart shopping campaign, and then you'll get your clicks. And then if you're getting a good ROI, raise that bid and get some more, I'm getting mixed up here. Raise that bid to where if you started out paying $1 per click and you're getting a good ROI, raise it to $2, because you're going to get more impressions that way. And you're, as a result, going to get more sales that way. And if you're not getting the ROI you want, you just simply lower that cost per click bid. But that's the general idea there. Now, as far as knowing where that certain threshold I told you is, where Bing smart shopping campaigns will actually do better than regular shopping campaigns, to put it in a nutshell, now this isn't a hard and fast rule, but from my experience, this is where you could generate at least 100 sales a month. Now obviously, to generate 100 sales a month, if we're talking about what most of you guys have, where you're selling like $50, $100 an average transaction, now we're talking about $10,000 in sales a month. And as a result of that, you might have to be spending $50,000 a month on your smart shopping campaign or more. Where even if your smart shopping was profitable, you won't be able to scale up to that, because there's not enough people that are in market for your products and therefore searching on Bing to even be able to spend that much. Because obviously, if you were able to spend $50,000 a month on a smart shopping campaign on Bing, that means you're probably spending $300,000 on your PMAX campaign to run shopping placements on Google at $300,000 a month there, because the search volume is so much less on Bing. So for all practical purposes, unless you're a big company and you're in a niche where there's a lot of demand, like you're selling ladies' clothing or you're selling sporting goods, now you're in a situation, you're in a niche big enough where you actually can get to 100 sales a month profitably with your smart shopping, and then now that smart shopping is going to do you better than the regular shopping on Bing, to run shopping placements on Bing. Okay, you follow me? So 100 sales a month might be 50 sales a month for some of you guys, might be 200. But this is the general guideline that I would go with, and if you're nowhere near this, even if your campaign hasn't died out like this now, my opinion is it's just a matter of time. So at the very least, what you should be doing is starting up a regular shopping campaign to run side by side with your smart shopping campaign on Bing, and just let it run, so that if your campaign gets zeroed out, because what happens that really kicks your ass is because Bing is not that important. It's not that important for your business as a whole. So you don't check it that often, and then you might check it once every couple of weeks or once every month. You come back and check, and then you realize your smart shopping campaign hasn't been getting clicks for 2 weeks. Well, you lost a bunch of sales. If you had your regular shopping campaign running side by side with your smart shopping campaign, you wouldn't have lost any potential sales during that time. And then plus, obviously, even if you did notice it, then you got to start up the regular shopping campaign. That takes time. Then you got to get that regular shopping campaign spooled up. That takes time. Might take you a week to really get it spooled up well. And so why do all that when you can just get the campaign running in the background? And maybe you just run it at a $10 a day budget. If your smart shopping campaign is running at $100 a day, at least just run the regular shopping at $10 a day. That way it doesn't take up too much of the so-called sales you're getting through the smart shopping. But it's there gathering data so that when you need to ratchet it up, it's just one click away from, being ratcheted up, if you will. You're building some preliminary data, because the deal is with Bing and Google, they're not going to give a new campaign a lot of impressions until they know it gets good click-through rates, good conversion rates on the traffic you bring to your site, so that because they always want to give their users the best experience. So if you're starting out new, you can't force the system. I mean, you sort of can, but the reality is they test out anything new slowly. If you have some testing data behind a campaign that doesn't have a big budget, well, at least it knows it's performing well. And when you want to go from $10 a day budget on that campaign to $100, and it already knows what that campaign can do, it's literally instantaneous. You're going to get new clicks immediately, versus having to go through this long, painful process of gathering that initial data, so that Bing will know that campaign will be able to provide their users a good experience, and it should, if you want it to be front and center, it will be front and center on their search engine. So anyway, that's the main things I can tell you about running shopping on Bing nowadays. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days. You can ask me any ad-related question you'd want. I love to be able to give back to you and to my viewers here, just as a thanks for watching the channel. If you like what you've seen here, I have a ton of other videos on this channel that goes through how to actually make money with online ads, coming from somebody who's done online ads for myself, for businesses I run, and a few dozen clients for 20 years now. And so with that, and actively, that's all I do is ad strategy all day long. I'm not a YouTuber by trade or a course seller. I'm actually out there testing stuff constantly, and I have the pulse, my finger on the pulse as to what's working, and I give it to you on this channel. So therefore, out of all the different stuff you can pay attention to on YouTube, this is the one channel you should want to pay attention to if you actually want to make real money. Furthermore, if you like the channel, I also have a blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog, as well as a column over at entrepreneur.com. With that said, if you're interested in getting better results for yourself and you don't think you have the time, reach out to me at my agency at guaranteedppc.com. We offer guaranteed results in our campaigns to our clients up front, in that we can't raise your sales from your campaigns as it exists now. We don't charge a fee. The only catch is we got to be able to know who we're working with, that we know we can get results. But if you want to see if we can work together, you should reach out to us, and we'll give you some sort of a free analysis to let you know what's the potential, doing it the way that we know works, and you can see if it's worth your time. With that said, as a side, if you are looking for results but you're not looking to work with an ad agency per se, we also sell ad campaign templates. We've worked in hundreds of markets now at this stage, over the last 10 years of running Guarantee PPC as an agency. And if we've worked in your market before, instead of working with us directly, you can just work with the ad templates and landing page templates and everything that we develop for your market, of which we can tell you what the results are before you even start. So, and we sell them for a one-time fee. So if we worked in your market, to not use our templates, that's just silly. You should just take our results and copy and paste them into your account. And so if you're interested in that, you can reach out to us as well. We actually have people taking our templates and starting up other businesses with it, because if you're going to start a business and you're starting out with the working ads that crush everything in that market, well, it's pretty hard to not make money in that market. And people are taking the leads and selling them, or just outsourcing whatever they need, and they have a fairly passive income business that way. So just letting you know as to the power of these templates, of us having optimized campaigns in a market for years, and then having an ironclad version of what can work in that market, ready to go in a nice little package. Anyway, with that said, a couple other things before I go. I want to mention that if you are looking for an ad agency, but you don't like paying or don't want to pay an ad agency per se, for whatever reason, we're looking for application or people to apply to have us work on your campaigns for free in exchange of sharing what we learn on your campaigns on this channel. So a lot of people don't want, obviously, what we do with their campaigns to be shared with anybody, for good reason. However, we will be willing to even just give you free services if we were able to have that content, because the number one most requested thing on this channel is, Corey, can you show us what you're saying working on a campaign? And the answer always is, no, I cannot, unless you're going to let us show what we did to your campaign to everybody on this channel. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com, as well as with that said, I think I had one other thing I was going to mention. I think I will wrap it up with that. I did want to have one other thing I was going to mention, but I'll leave it with that. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you on the next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.